Hey guys, it's Luke. Today we're going to be talking about how to stop translating in your head from your language to English or from English to your language. How do you do that? Before we start with that, make sure you give the video a like if you like it. If you don't like it, then give it a thumbs down. That's what the button's there for. Also, if you have English questions, culture questions, pronunciation questions, grammar questions, whatever questions, leave your questions in the comments below this video. I will be reading through them. I read every single comment. Make sure you leave a comment, and I will hopefully answer your question next week. If I don't answer your question, please don't get angry at me, okay? It's not personal, okay? I can only do 5 a week. Well, I could do more, but then I would be crazy. So I'm gonna do 5 a week. If I don't pick your question, keep trying, okay? Keep trying, keep trying. Eventually, I probably will. I'm choosing based on the questions. It's not personal. Okay, so today's question comes from, now I'm not exactly sure how to say it. Is it Hongmin? It might be Hongmin or maybe Hongmin. I'm not quite sure. So the question is, how do I stop translating in my head? I don't want to translate from my language to English every time I'm speaking English. I don't want to translate from English to my language every time I'm listening to something or someone speaking English, right? Well, that's a pretty good question. And you can't say that you are fluent in English if you're still translating. There are really 2 questions. Question number 1 is, why are you doing it? Why do you translate in your head? The second question is, how do you stop? How do you get away from translating in your head, okay? But actually first I want to talk about why it's not good. Now, when you start learning English, it's okay, it's natural to learn a word with your language. That's reasonable, understandable when you're beginning. But as you begin to get better and better at English, and if you can understand me now, you are at that stage, you're at that level. It's important to start building up what I call your English brain. In fact, I have a whole course called Building Your English Brain. That's what it's called. You can check it out. It's in the link in the description. It's how to do this, right? But this is the short answer. That's the long answer, 3 hours. You have to develop your own English brain so that when you're speaking English, you're only thinking in English and you're not moving across languages. That's what you have to do. Right now, you may not be doing that because of how you learn English. Think about it. When you learn a new word, how do you learn it? If you learn it by looking at a translation into your language, and then the explanation of that, maybe if you look it up in a dictionary in your language, is all in your language, that means your language is attached to this new word, like a big heavy thing attached to the word. And every time this English word comes up, maybe the word pencil, you have this heavy thing, your language, the word in your language attached to it that has to be with it all the time. Right? They're paired together. And so whenever this word comes up, you have to think about all this crap, all this stuff. That's not what you want, right? Someone who speaks a language perfectly doesn't have to do that. When I first learned the word pencil, I didn't learn it from another language, right? I didn't learn, oh, pencil means this in my first baby language. No, I learned the word pencil from direct experience. I played with the thing, I saw what it was, and someone told me it was called pencil, and so that's how I learned the word, directly. That's what you want to try to do. If it's direct, then it's going to be easy to get when you want to use it. If it's not direct, you have this, and then this. This is your language, this is English, this is the thing. Or actually, no, sorry. This is your language, this is English, this is the thing, okay? It has to go English, your language, thing. English, your language, thing. A lot of thinking. Tiring. Okay? So if you want to get away from that, you have to start learning all in English. Now this is a challenge. This is difficult. But you can do it. It's possible. I know it's possible because I've seen many people do it. And I know that the best English learners learn this way. I know that they do because I know many of them. Okay? The best English learners learn only in English. And when they speak in English, they think in English, and when they speak in their language, they think in their language. So if you're learning a new English word, look that word up in an all-English dictionary. That's what you have to do. Look up the meaning, the definition in an all-English dictionary. There are two pretty good resources you can use for this. One, dictionary.com. The other, vocabulary.com. Vocabulary.com, dictionary.com. Both of these are pretty good. You can get the pronunciation of the word. You can also check real examples of that word being used so you can get the context. So that's really important. So that's one way to build your English brain, using an all-English dictionary when you're looking up new words. The other thing that you can do, which is really important, is read. Think about this. Native speakers, when they're in school, they read. At least from kindergarten until they're 18 years old. They read a lot. Some people don't continue reading. I love reading. I read all the time. You have to read. You have to start enjoying reading. When you read, you pick up how words are used. You see the context. You get a feeling for English grammar. Not learning it in a technical way, but a feeling for how the language is structured. One difference between, for example, yourself and a native English speaker is that you haven't read nearly as much as a native English speaker. We all have to read when we're in school. You probably had to read your language a lot when you were in school. Do you think that has no impact on how you think? Of course it does. So I would strongly recommend that you read often. Make it part of your routine, part of your lifestyle. Read something you enjoy. Find a book you like. If it's a novel or nonfiction, I would recommend nonfiction because it's a little easier to read. Then, when you're reading and you find a new word, circle it. Then later, look up the meaning in an all-English dictionary. Then go back to the sentence and look at how it's used in the sentence. Pay attention to it. Make your own example. You're starting the process of building your English brain, of thinking in English. That's the thing that's going to allow you to no longer translate in your head. Now, there are so many other things that you can do, so many other ways to build your English brain. This is where I'm going to promote my course. I have a course. It's called Building Your English Brain. It has lots of ways, lots of things you can do to actually start thinking in English. Lots of exercises, and it's really useful. It's rated very highly on Udemy. It's got, I think, 4.6 stars on Udemy, so it's very highly rated. A lot of people have reviewed it, many students. I would recommend you check it out. I'm going to give you a discount, big discount, 50% discount to the course in the link in the description. So go to the description, find the link, make sure you put in the promo code, you'll get the discount. It's a great way to start thinking in English, okay? All right, so I hope I've answered at least the main part of your question. It's a very big topic, but that is the main reason, and that's the main thing that you can do to start thinking in English. Guys, if you have other questions, leave them in the comments. Pronunciation, grammar, whatever. Leave them in the comments. I read every single comment, okay? I might not answer every single question because there are more than I can answer, but I do read every comment. Hopefully I'll pick your questions for next week. Also, if you like the video, don't forget to give it a like. If you enjoy these videos, don't forget to subscribe. And also, again, check out my courses, especially the Building Your English Brain course. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.